All right, so today we have another podcast, the Big Blue News podcast, but it's on Twitter Space. We've got, of course, Phoenix Stevens with us and Nolan Fleming, my co-host. Let's start talking about everything though, with Mark Stoops staying at Kentucky when everybody thought he was going to go to Texas A&M. What is that?
You me go first?
Yeah, let's talk about it, Nolan.
Alright, well, I have no idea what to think. I don't know, does anyone here know what to think? Because there's so many conflicting perspectives, and I know which one I prefer to believe, not going to say, but, like, it's weird. It's a lot more split than I thought it would be about what actually happened. But either way, Mark Stoops is still the coach, and Mike Elko is the new coach at A&M, which is a weird hire. I thought it would be someone a lot bigger than that. Whenever we found out Stoops was not going to be the coach of A&M, I thought it would be like, I don't know, for some reason I was still thinking Ryan Day or Dabo Swinney or something like that. But, obviously that's not what happened. It was Mike Elko from Duke, which is basically just a clone of Mark Stoops, but less successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for my perspective, I woke up Saturday morning and I immediately heard the rumors. I started to text Nolan immediately. I'm like, I think Mark Stoops might be actually leaving to go to Texas A&M, and obviously he didn't believe me in the morning. And then obviously UK played against Louisville. I was at that game. Very exciting game, a lot of fun. I love throwing yells down against the Louisville fans. Very fun game. And then after the game, everything was calm for like 2 or 3 hours, and then we heard the buzz that Mark Stoops was going to Texas A&M, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. I'm like,
Chris, didn't mean to interrupt you. I don't know if you're recording in a bomb shelter right now. Your audio.
Yeah, hey, good point there.
That. Yeah. I'll go ahead. I guess while I get yourself situated, I'll go ahead give my little 2 cents on it. Man, you heard the whispers of it, like, really right before kickoff, right, of the Louisville game, and you kind of sit there and you wonder, and you're like, why Mark Stoops, right? I mean, yes, he's had a lot of success here in Texas, but Texas A&M, you know, there were reports there looking at, like Chris was talking about Dabo and Ryan Day, which I don't know if those are realistic hires anyway. I don't know why Dabo would leave Clemson after what he's built there. And I don't know why Ryan Day would leave Ohio State, which is one of the most, probably, you know, one of the biggest 2 or 3, you know, most boosters, most resources, one of the best programs in the country. So I don't know why he would leave them.
I can answer that real quick. It looks like a lot of people are really angry with him right now about the Michigan stuff. They've lost them 3 years in a row. And apparently there's a lot of people really disgruntled with him. I don't know. That's a weird reason to be mad at somebody. I know it's your biggest rival, but like, why would you want one of the best coaches you've had in, like, I mean, he's pretty much kept the program stable since Urban Meyer. Why would you want him gone?
Yeah.
Right. And then you wonder, so as the time gets closer and it's like, okay, so is he really going to take this job? After the game, someone asked Mark about the job, and he doesn't deny it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't say no. He's like, I need to keep the focus on the team. Which, that in itself, for us, you know, for us people who like to overanalyze things, that's, oh, great, here we go. Yeah. And, man, I mean, really, it's just the whole night. We all were there. We all know what happened, where it was flip-flopping between he's gone, he's not really gone, is he? And then there was a time where he was gone, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know, we're all sitting there and wondering, you know, not even really wondering. We're just sitting there and we know he's gone, or we think we know he's gone. And right after, I think it's like right after midnight, or close to midnight, we get hit with the bombshell that Stoops is staying.
Yep.
And so I guess if I'm gonna just say what I think happened, I'm gonna guess, and I think this is the general assumption as well. I think Stoops was just about gone, and then the people at Texas A&M saw the backlash that they were receiving. You know, the backlash from the fan base about this hire. You know, Stoops isn't a good enough hire. He's gonna suck. He's gonna be even worse than Jimbo. And then
7-5 forever.
Yeah, and then I think the people at Texas A&M backed away, and Stoops backed away, and I think that's how it went down.
I will say that's. I said I wasn't going to say what I believe. Now, since you said it, that's where I stand. I definitely think that he was probably at least heavily leaning towards going, but obviously he didn't. And I also think he's like the Griciano. I think the blowback definitely is the reason why he's at Kentucky. And I'm not saying, and I will say, I'll add this. I understand why people be like a little frustrated with it. Like, clearly you don't want to be here and all that. But at the same time, like, I've never thought he did not want to be at Kentucky. It's just the name of the game anymore is taking bigger jobs. It's like a promotion.
Exactly.
It's like a promotion.
Yeah. Yep.
I've seen where people have kind of thought, you know, oh God, it's going to be awkward, it's going to be weird. Stoops doesn't want to be here. I mean, there's no real reason to think that, right? I mean, if you, Nolan, or Chris got the hey, ESPN's going to call you.
That's
you
not
get
happening.
To host your own radio show. Well, just go with me here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, hey, you get your own radio. You get to work for us at ESPN. It's like, well, wouldn't you jump on that in a heartbeat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really stupid if I didn't.
Wouldn't you? I think it's dumb if you don't at least entertain the idea.
Yeah. You're not
right?
wrong.
So I don't blame Stoops at all for at least looking at that Texas A&M job and really considering it like he did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't either, but and then, you know, there's also the thing of, well, what if Iowa comes open this year? I don't really know if Iowa will come open or not. Obviously I don't know anything about Iowa, but you know, you never know.
Yeah, like I said,
I agree with who just commented, by the way, that others will be coming for him. I legitimately think someone is going to offer him a job again, and I don't have any basis on that. I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it would not shock me if someone else said, hey, Mark Stoops want to come be my head coach.
Yeah, you're not
I
wrong.
don't think, people won't do it anymore, like not this off season. But I think for, like, after every year now, this will be a thing. It's kind of like what we have to do with Cal and that UCLA job and that Texas job. Like, if we're going to call Mark Stoops, there's going to be rumors after every year. And that's just how it is. That's a testament to Mark. He's really built this place up. You know what I mean? And he's really set a standard for himself as this great coach.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. And I can read you some of what the players were saying to me, like some of the recruits who are in this current class. And one of them was completely surprised. They told me that they're like, is this Mark Stoops stuff true? And I'm thinking to myself, dang, Mark Stoops didn't even tell you that he could be, like, leaving, because obviously, more than likely, he was going to leave, but then obviously a little pushback on Texas A&M side, and then Mark Stoops probably definitely reconsidered his options and decided to stay. But yeah, like I said, I was reaching out to recruits whenever he was potentially going to accept the offer, and they couldn't believe it. And like I said, I'll read some of these quotes that the recruits said to me. They said, feels great, glad he's staying to see this class through. It's a great class with a lot of talent. Another player said, I'm grateful he's staying. I'm glad to be a part of the Mark Stoops era. Another recruit said, relief not being from the area. The culture of the program and the coaching staff was a huge part of my decision. A lot of programs bigger than Kentucky were recruiting me, but Kentucky felt like home from the first visit. If he had left and the staff involved in my recruitment had left too, I would have likely moved on, but he's staying, so bring on signing day. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Now we've given our perspective,
and then I think we should probably move on to Miami.
Or let some people talk.
We got a really excited basketball game tomorrow.
We do.
So, do we think that A&M almost immediately rescinds that job offer if Kentucky loses that game against Louisville.
No, I actually think he's gone.
Or do you think Stoops is even more gone?
I think he is gone. I think he's gone. I really do.
I don't know, man. It would have been tough. Where would he have gone, though?
He would have gone to A&M. A&M had offered him the job already.
I know, but
A&M had apparently been in talks with Stoops for roughly a week or so.
Yeah.
10 days is the number that's been given. It's 10 days is how long him and A&M had been speaking, and they had a full-on interview.
Yeah. The question is, I heard there were some rumors that he went to Texas after the game. I don't know if that's true or not.
Believe that,
I think someone checked that, and that's not true. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything to that. I think someone went as far as like checking if there were any flights from Lexington to College Station and back, and there wasn't. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think it's time we discuss some Miami Hurricanes. What do you all say?
Actually, real quick, let's get some people talking. If anyone wants to speak on anything, either if it's Stoops or Miami, go ahead and request microphone access, and we'll let you talk for a minute or two.
We'll let you talk for sure.
Or ask questions, whatever.
Yeah, come on.
Can't be worse than Chris's, so you're all fine.
Oh,
no, Chris, you sound like you're in a literal cave right now.
a cave?
That's actually probably being generous.
Is it?
Chris, if you're on speakerphone, you gotta get off speakerphone. We know how this goes.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah.
We can still publish it. We're okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm using my microphone on my thing, so hopefully y'all will sound good.
Yeah.
I think there's a person requested. I don't know how to check. I don't know how to.
Chris, you're the host.
Yeah, nobody has requested yet, but I sent someone a request to join, so hopefully they'll join on.
It says, hold on. I'm gonna approve them. I think I know who. I think I can see. I think I just approved them. Maybe. No.
Requested. All right.
I'm not really good at this whole thing here.
I got Wyatt. At least Wyatt Huff is in here.
Yeah.
Wyatt, you could speak at least.
Yeah, Wyatt. I just invited you.
Do we have? We just invited Wyatt.
Yeah.
There you go, Wyatt. Hey, Wyatt.
I'm here for the Miami talk.
Oh, you're here for the Miami talk? Well,
Yeah, I'm here for the Miami talk.
man,
The audio, dude.
the audio is going crazy in this group chat right now.
Is it bad?
Oh, yes. Like, is it bad like mine?
Hold up. Can you hear my voice hit yourself what?
Yeah.
Are y'all like roommates in college?
We are, yes. Me and Wyatt. We're not in the same room, technically, but we're in the same dorm. I guess different bedrooms.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah.
Why weren't y'all roommates? Come on now.
Well, I mean, we're in the same. Well,
They are.
I need my own room. You know.
You need your own room. All I know is UK. Oh, it sounds awful still. Man, this is such a great. This.
Hey, if you have a microphone or if you have like earbuds or AirPods, try those.
Yeah.
I have both of my earbuds in. So.
Can,
it sounds a little bit.
can we get
Put
like
the microphone close to your mouth. Put the microphone close to your mouth.
Well, I'll switch back to my PlayStation headset. Would that work?
maybe.
Probably be better.
Alright, this episode is.
It sounds like
In the meantime, anyone who's not Wyatt, anyone want to talk? Have any questions? You can put something in the comment section. We'll read it.
it sounds like you're using a potato Wyatt right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This entire function thing, this entire thing is going off the rails a little bit.
Woo!
Hey, there we go. We have someone in the comments.
Turn volume down first. Yeah,
Turn the
but
volume down first. Okay,
but
there
yeah.
we go.
Kentucky though, talking about Miami a little bit, they have to make sure they stop Nigel Pack. Man, he's so great. Hello.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, Nigel Pack has been lighting it up this year for Miami. I'm trying to pull up his stats right now, but man, he's one of the best players for Miami. Obviously, he played at K-State previously. I'm looking up his college stats this year. So far in 5 games, he's averaging 16 points and 3 rebounds per game, plus 4 assists per game. So he's lighting it up. He's shooting it from 3-point line 40% and 46% overall. So he's doing very well. Kentucky will have to stop him tomorrow.
Well, I think tomorrow what's going to be most important, for me at least, is seeing how Kentucky matches up with a team that plays a pretty vastly different style, to be honest. They're not at all. I mean, they are like us in a way, but they are a lot more physical of a team, and we really have not played anyone like that yet. Maybe St. Joe's, but
see, I would actually argue that they're almost just like, I think they do almost exactly what we do, but just better. I think Miami and Kentucky are very, very similar teams, actually. But I do agree that Miami is a lot bigger, more physical, which I think that'll be their biggest strength against us. Miami is, as a team, Miami is shooting 46% from three. That's not one guy, that's not two guys, that's a whole team of guys, a whole rotation of guys shooting 46% from three. I mean, and they shoot, I think, the most threes in the country per game.
Yeah, I was watching highlights of them before I got on here, and they really shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
You sound good now, by the way, Wyatt.
I have no headphones on. It's a straight phone.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds better.
Yeah. You sound so great, Wyatt. Oh.
Poplar is really good. He can get to the basket pretty easy. And they kind of use North Shadow Mirror out in the perimeter sometimes on offense.
Yeah. They play like Kentucky, like
Miami, they have four players that are averaging over 15 points, 5 in double digits.
Yep.
And that's really the bulk of their scoring. The next highest person on their team is forward AJ Casey here, and he scores just 3.2 points per game. Only gets a couple minutes per game.
The minutes are a big drop off.
So Miami has a glaring weakness. It's their roster depth, and they heavily rely on that starting five that they have to give them production. And I think where Kentucky has the best chance to win is where arguably our best players and Rob Willingham and Reed Shepherd are coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, we're not nearly as good as this, obviously, but it reminds me a lot of the 2015 team where here's our starting five. They're better than you, or at least just as good as you. And then whenever your team is sitting there with their hands on their knees, tired after 10 minutes of action, well, here come our backups, ready to do the same thing, and whoop your ass 94 feet down the floor.
Whoa, bro, profanity.
That's what this team is. Because, I mean, you see Rob and Reed come off the bench, and we also have, like, especially when, right now, we don't have the big back. But once we get Big Z and AB back, then we could put a dude on the bench and even bring him off with them because, I mean, the bench production is insane right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And first of all, about Reed and Rob coming off the bench, I know there's a lot of things about them. People want them to start.
Yeah.
And first of all, I love Reed and Rob. Rob Dillingham is legitimately my favorite player I've watched since Monk and Fox. Monk or Fox.
Yeah.
Probably De'Aaron Fox. But honestly, I think them coming off the bench is perfect.
Yeah.
It is so fun. It's just so fun to have those two guys in your back pocket.
And that's what it is. I mean,
well, they've made the most of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I don't think both of them should start, but I think you definitely have to consider probably starting Rob Dillingham at one point in the year.
Me personally, I don't know if you do. It's not that it's not like I don't think Rob's not good. I think Rob's great. But if this team is going to reach the caliber that we all know they can get, Final Four, National Championship, you have to give Justin Edwards and DJ Wagner as much repetitions as you can. I know they're starting to figure it out now.
Yeah, they're starting to figure it out.
You have to continue to you got to put them in the starting lineup. You got to give them some serious minutes and figure things out. Now, maybe in late game situations, once that under 5 timeout hits, maybe you could consider putting Justin on the bench for a while and bringing in Reed or Rob. But I think until that point, or until things are just seriously going wrong and you're in serious jeopardy of losing the games, I think you really need to give Justin and DJ as many minutes as you can, because straight up, Justin's not the top pick in the draft like he was projected.
No, he's not right now like that.
But if Kentucky is going to be the best team in the country and bring home number 9, Justin has to play like a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And you have to let him get to that point.
The thing is, you don't want Justin and DJ to have to set in those key moments because they're supposed to be the guys.
Yeah.
Right. I think that people might disagree and say Trey Mitchell. I think they're the 2 most important players in the whole game. One of them is, and I think I actually think it's going to end up being Justin Edwards, because he has to turn it on eventually, and we saw glimpses of that. I mean, against Marshall even, he looked, for the first about 15 minutes or so, he looked great. He didn't play like a ton either towards the end of the game or in the second half, but we really need him, especially in a game this big, because the only game we've played kind of this caliber against Kansas, he looked awful.
Yeah. And
I love him, but he looked terrible.
Yeah.
And same goes for DJ Wagner. He also looked awful in that game.
Yeah, and if Wagner and
I think
hello?
I think they'll be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get it going for sure. I mean, it's not often you see that your best players kind of struggle like that.
Yeah. And they've been struggling for, the beginning part of the year, but I think come middle of December, I'd say they will be 2 completely different players, and they'll be great. And if, like we were talking about earlier, if Wagner and Edwards were just average against Kansas, UK wins that game easily.
Yeah.
Which, when you look at that Kansas game, obviously we all know Kansas is great, right? They're obviously one of the top 3-5 best teams in the country. And this Kentucky team, who has no big guy to guard Hunter Dickinson, they're 2, great. I know we're supposed to talk about the Miami game, but I know these, and like these freshmen, DJ and Justin didn't, they didn't do anything really. And you blew it against Kansas. And that's not saying when I say you blew it against Kansas, I'm not trying to say anything negative. Really, I'm trying to say you were in position to win that game, and Kansas was number 1 in the country at that time.
That's why you take a lot of positives from that game,
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I did.
Even without the 3 7-footers, you're 21 feet of big men, as we like to say. You competed, and I think that's a big testament to Trey, who I think Trey will be pivoting back tomorrow. Trey will be very important for tomorrow against Miami, because their big man, he's only 6'7", right? Like he's not 7'2".
He's really physical.
But he's 240 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna try to bully Trey.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it goes back to gang rebound. I mean, go and help play. That's what I said a while ago, and I think I posted gang rebounding, and you gotta help Trey as much as you can.
Yeah, and Adu Thiero has been a beast this year with getting rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, tip slams. The Adu Thiero in that Kansas game reminded me of Marcus Lee during that Michigan game in the NCAA tournament. That was crazy what he was doing.
Even the Marshall game, he was playing really good, and I watched him like he was making those hustle plays that you need right now.
He's like Shepard to me. He's like Reed, where he does not have to score points to be effective. He has his moments on defense where he does break down a little bit. He did it at least a couple times against Marshall, I noticed. But rebounding the ball, he might actually right now be the best rebounder on the team, which is weird, but he might be. And he might be the second most important. I won't say player because I said Edwards and Wagner, but like the second most important aspect of the game.
Yeah. Like role play.
And I will say Wyatt, what you were saying about the Kansas game about trying to be optimistic about it. I will admit, the first hour or hour and a half after the game, it was more like a well damn feeling. Like I was like, we should have won that game. We choked, whatever. After that, after I was out of that state of mind, I guess that game is going to end up being probably the best thing to happen to the team.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
You're probably not wrong.
I think just proving to not only the country, but to yourselves that you are as good as pretty much the number one team in the country, I think it went a long way for them. And I think, I still think they're going to be hard to beat for the rest of the year. And I think against Miami, they have a very good chance. Also, Rowdy Rope, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Be there.
I'll be at. Hey, are we all going? Are we all going to meet up tomorrow before the game?
I'm going to be there.
I suppose so. I'll be getting there around, I think it's 5 is when the media people come in, so I'll be getting there around 5.
I'll be there at 2 in the student line. I have a student ticket for this one.
Sadly, I won't.
I'm in the upper deck this time. I got a ticket off of somebody.
Sadly, I won't be a media member, but I will be at the game, so that means we all need to meet up and like have a great time before the game and during the game too.
Yeah.
Tailgate for basketball.
Tailgate for Kentucky basketball.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to go on a great rant here, which y'all may want to turn me off. Who knows?
All right,
Why do we not do that? Why do we not tailgate for basketball?
It would be funny.
This is the greatest place in America for basketball.
At the same time, too, I mean, I don't know. It would be pretty weird and odd.
Besides Disney World, it's my happy place.
Have the campers and the tents and the barbecue and, the go-kats and...
Where will we tailgate at though?
General, and if you don't want to use Colonel, you can call him a general. I don't know.
General Calipari.
General Calipari.
General Calipari statue.
General Calipari. Somebody get that going.
I'll tell Wildcat Stone he can try.
That would be great. Anybody here want to talk? 8 people listening.
Yeah.
We really do.
I'm not gonna say who. Someone just told me that they're listening here. One of these people here listening told me that this is not the greatest place in America for basketball. Yes, I know who it is.
I know who it is too.
There's no place.
Who is he? Who is it? Do they have a check mark?
Kentucky.
Well, I mean, that would give it away. That would give it away.
Yeah.
We don't specify around here. No. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's a Harlem.
Maybe it's someone that went to the University of Kansas, or Kansas University. I should say Kansas University.
Hello? Nice speaking. Hey, has anyone ever been to Allen Fieldhouse?
Allen Fieldhouse?
I'd prefer to stay away from that place, honestly.
Who needs to know Allen Fieldhouse? You know what happened the last time Kentucky went to Allen Fieldhouse?
It was beautiful.
The scoreboard fell off. That's what happened.
Yeah.
This is a shame.
Yeah. Jacob.
Who needs Allen Fieldhouse when you have Rep Arena where all the old people can't stand and cheer? They have to sit down in their chairs.
If they don't get up, I might have to stand up and try to get people going.
They have to. I wish I was in that student section. I really wish I was in the reserve seating. I really wish I could get that thing.
You want me to try to sneak you in?
No, man. You're good.
I tried to go there over there for the St. Joe's game or whoever we played Monday. I think it was St. Joe's.
Yeah, I was with Phoenix. I was with Phoenix for that one.
I tried to go over there with Phoenix, and he said, "You got a ticket?" I go, "Oh no, I'm over there in the eruption zone."
I'm not here to promote, any potentially unlawful. I don't know. It's probably not even unlawful. It's probably just.
It's not unlawful. It's just against their policy.
It's bad ethics, but.
I
just think. Now, I will say, okay, I don't know why tonight. I don't know why we're going on tangents.
Yeah, no, but it's fun. This is going to make for a good listen.
This is great. I love this.
Yeah, this is going well.
Yeah.
But listen, Jacob might be right. And we may not be the greatest. And I'm going to tell you why. Because First of all, why don't we...
Hang on. Before you get going, I want to remind Mr. Polachek that we are the winningest program in history of college basketball. So there you go. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, we don't do the tailgating, right? I feel like that's a good first step. Get tailgates going. Why not? Have people interrupt
Jacob is preoccupied. He was just telling me he's preoccupied. He's listening, but he's preoccupied.
Oh.
Okay, well,
I'm about to hop in the shower. I'll get you guys back.
You get us back.
I wasn't gonna mention the shower, but
okay.
Yeah.
That was all him. Anyway, y'all go ahead.
Start with tailgate, and then you know how Kroger Field, you know how loud those blue-white chants can get. Why do we not do that at Ryan?
It's because of the old people.
What's the average age, do you think? What do you think the average age is of the lower section? I think it has to be 70.
60.
60.
Not counting the student section, but yeah.
The younger guys bump it down a little bit.
Yeah, but if we're not counting the student section, let's not count the student section. Let's say like 60-year-olds, I would say.
It is so old though, because it's all the money. And I get it, but like I don't keep the donors happy, whatever. Kelly Craft and Joe Craft.
College kids.
I don't get it because you have the paddock at Kroger Field, and that's where all the rich people go. But like at Rub, yeah, like it just doesn't affect the atmosphere at Kroger Field. But then I just don't understand why Rub is different.
Well, let's all make that a goal for ourselves. Y'all are aspiring journalists. I'm not necessarily a journalist, I don't guess, but like, let's all make a goal to be in the paddock when we get older. We just get rich. Don't even worry about media passes anymore. Let's just get in the paddock.
We can actually bring some life to the paddock.
We could definitely bring it. We could absolutely. Heck, put us next to the Kraft family at basketball games.
There's nothing I like less than those paddock pony pickers.
Paddock pony.
Yeah, I say because like in the student section, like all year I sat like right next to that. It was pretty fun.
By the way, since we've gotten so off topic, I'll try to get a little bit on topic here, which I know Wyatt's a big fan of this. The thing about Miami, another thing that we didn't go over, it's not just their players.
Yes.
You know what? No, I'm going already. But this is gonna be. As much as it's going to be a battle on the court, it's going to be a battle on the sidelines there between Calipari and Jim Larinaga.
I agree.
I've been a fan. I've been a fan of Jim Larinaga even before the run in the NCAA tournament.
Me too. I think he's a great coach.
I fell in love with him during that, but I appreciated him way before that, and I really want to meet him.
I appreciate you so much, Wyatt.
What?
I said I appreciate you so much, Wyatt.
Ever since I learned about the George Mason run, which I mean I wasn't old enough to watch the George Mason run, I was not at all. But like, that makes you gain respect. It's the same respect I have for Shaka Smart as he did with VCU.
Yeah. Like I hate Tennessee, but I have respect for Rick Barnes.
Nah, I'm good.
I have to. Ever since
what, the Elite Eight or Final Four?
He's been to the Final Four.
My
boss man, Sean
regular
Smith.
season coaches of all time. But
Yeah,
I don't
my
know
boss
if you've ever
man.
seen him do anything.
My boss man, Sean Smith, went to a practice at Tennessee, and he told me a lot about what Rick taught him, and ever since he said that, I have a lot of respect.
But you haven't met Rick Barnes yet.
I still hate Tennessee. I hate Tennessee.
There's no doubt that Rick's a great coach, but
No. I mean, the guy literally, I don't know, did he get offered to be the head coach of Kentucky? I know there at that point when he was at Texas, he did, or someone they talked or something. Whenever we hired either Billy or Tubby, or not Tubby, Billy or Kyle, something like that. I wasn't either, but wasn't it Tom Izzo who legitimately was almost the head coach? That's a legendary
crazy
story.
that almost all of us here, or I know at least 3 of us, we're only allowed for Cal.
That's definitely us.
Back to Miami here. Someone's been commenting here. I'm gonna try to pronounce the name correctly. Jay Hayes, Kentucky.
Yeah.
They mentioned the over/under for the Miami game.
Go over.
163.
I'm gonna take the over, by the way.
I would go higher. Both teams are scoring at a high rate, so.
Someone's scoring 100.
90 points a game.
Someone is scoring 100 in this game.
It's going to be.
I want a shootout.
It's going to be over 200 points. I'm put the whole bank account on it.
200?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, 200's a little bit much.
Nah, bro.
I think 163 is reasonable. I think it's reasonable. 163 and a half, whatever it was. But I still think the over. I'd absolutely take the over.
Yeah. Bet your whole bank account on the over.
No.
No?
I'll never bet my whole bank account anything.
Did I read this correctly where Kentucky's a favorite? And
Yeah, they're a 6-point favorite.
4.5 now.
Yeah.
4.5.
I'm not one to. I don't like betting Kentucky games, whether it's for or against them, because it's bad juju for me. But I would, if I were to bet, I'd bet Miami to cover, right? 6.5.
I don't think it is anymore. They went down.
4.5 it's now.
Okay, 4.5. I think. Listen, I think Kentucky. We'll get to our predictions probably here in a second, but I think Kentucky will win this game just because it's at Rupp Arena. Like, I think that'll literally be, like, the main difference. I think this is going to be a great environment, starting with that Rowdy Rupp.
Yes.
Rowdy Rupp is going to go wild. All of the young people are aware of that, and I think that's actually going to make
You know what?
make an impact.
Matt Sack graduating has took a big hit on the student section.
I think it did. Everybody sits down the whole time, then I stand up, and then everyone tells me to sit down, and I feel awkward. I'm like, okay, I'll sit down. Jesus.
Hey,
I'm missing that.
don't sit down.
Okay, you know what you got to do then, Nolan? You have to stand even harder. I don't know how you do it. Maybe on your tippy toes.
Dude.
No idea how you do it.
Me. I think it was Missouri or Tennessee. No, it was Missouri. I think. Me and Wyatt we're at the Missouri football game, and someone told us to sit down.
Saxon
We looked at the guy like he's an idiot because he's an idiot.
Why would you sit down at a football game? That's weirder than a basketball game, asking someone to
I
sit down.
don't think you should.
Everybody
sit down
stands up at football
either.
games.
Back to Jacob's point about why Kentucky isn't the best place for college for basketball.
Because
we have people sitting down.
Yep.
But you hear, I know Jacob can say more on this, but you hear the fog through the TV.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy. Even Cameron Indoor, even at Duke, they're that way. North Carolina is a little.
Duke is just a bunch of nerds, but at least Kansas has actual real fans.
North Carolina is a little different. It's a little bit like us, but it's also like Allen in a way. I don't know. It's weird. They have the old money, but they also have.
We have the potential to be a really insane atmosphere, and we have to bring it.
Because we are them.
We have been. Look at all the times we have been. I was at the Kentucky-Alabama game in 2022 when Grady hit that three, and that was the most electric crowd noise I've ever heard in my life. And that includes the Kentucky-Florida game I was at in football. That was electric.
2021?
Yeah, 2021.
I was there too.
Hey, we got something in common. That was fantastic. Most fun I ever had.
Well, no invite, you all.
Crowd I've ever heard at Rupp Arena.
What is it?
It wasn't men's basketball. It was a women's basketball exhibition game against Kentucky State. It was I think it was that game. It was this year, just a couple weeks ago. It was elementary school day. And
I can already see where this is going.
There were probably 4,000 little kids.
Yeah.
And it's the best environment I've ever heard in Rupp Arena.
That's
Not near the fullest I've seen Rupp, but definitely the loudest and rowdiest I've seen.
when you told me that, how much of the sections of the arena did they fill?
Okay, so for women's games, the uppers are completely blocked off.
Okay.
It's the black, the black things hang down. But I would say of the lower bowl that's left, they probably fill up 35-50% of it, somewhere 35-45% of it.
It'll be lower than that. It'll be lower than that for the rest of the year.
If we get into women's basketball, I may start crying. But
That's your job, man. We'll spare you.
shout out to my main KSR gig. I love doing it to death. But covering this team can be painful just sometimes.
Only sometimes.
As a fan who wants to see them do well. And I'm going to say this real quick. Kyra Elsie is such a nice person. I've had the pleasure of talking to her on a couple occasions now, just being on the beat and everything. And she's really one of the best human beings I've ever met. But, you know, someone said this one day, and I mean, they're right. It's a business here. This isn't, right? It's why we fired Joker in football. This is a business, and we're here to win.
It's why Calipari's seat was a lot hotter than anyone ever expected at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying I wanted Calipari fired. That was honestly, I think that was an inherently stupid argument.
People are crazy.
I think everyone wanting him fired was nuts, and it's especially nuts now. But we were underperforming, that's true, and you definitely did need to ramp up the intensity on him or something like that.
All right, so now that we're all here, and we've talked about
the shower.
Jacob's in the shower, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm back. We're good.
Jacob's back. All right, so now that we're all here, what are our predictions before? Because I want to talk about something else after we do this. Real quick before we get off.
I'll start.
What are our predictions for the Miami game?
I'm going to go Kentucky 84, Miami 74.
Whoa. Wow, that's a blowout. I think it's going to be very close, but UK wins, and we are going to take that over. We are going with 89 Kentucky, Miami 84. UK wins by 5, baby.
So the Kansas game, except in our favor.
Yeah. 83-77 Cats.
And me, myself, we'll say 89-92 Cats. It's going to be a lot higher scoring than I think. Jacob, if you're actually here, what do you think real quick?
I'm going to say Kentucky 90, Miami 82.
There we go. All right, right before we get off, Jacob, you probably won't have much to say. Chris, I doubt you will too. WWE!
I'm so ready.
CM Punk, baby.
My TV channel is literally on USA right now.
Who?
I'm just
How
nostalgic.
exciting is this, man? This is the greatest thing to happen for WWE in God knows how long.
I guess I'm just nostalgic for my 9-year-old self.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hey, before we talk any more about WWE, John Calipari just said Kentucky is expecting 1 or 2 more commitments here in a while for 2024. Whoa.
During what now?
The team is expecting 1 to 2 more commitments for this class, man.
Let's say what?
Billy Richmond and Carter Knox. Is that who it is?
That's who I'm guessing.
Billy Richmond is a lock.
That's
the other one. Carter Knox kind of.
I don't know if you have Billy.
The pressure has kind of fell off on Carter. Jacob's here, so he follows it a lot too. But the pressure's kind of fell off there. I think he wanted to take a few more visits, but I'm not sure who the other guy is.
Carter.
I think it would be Carter, but I know Billy for sure.
Jacob,
I think
you got anything?
might be a late decision. Yeah, but I would think Billy, and then I think they'll kind of play it by ear with if they want Carter to play alongside Billy, or if they go for someone else. There's always like a Darren Peters class, but
Yeah.
I've talked about that lately.
What do you think about VJ Edge call? Anything on that? Because I haven't heard anything.
I've heard St. John's right now.
Okay.
St. John's, the Fighting Rick Pitino.
Hey, that's a big one. I love VJ. I would like to have him.
How about Jasper Johnson, you all reclassifying?
Was that?
I said, what about Jasper Johnson reclassifying to the class of 2024?
I expect him to stay in 2025.
Yeah.
Me and Wyatt actually had a conversation. We were trying to remember what class he was in, Jasper.
Yeah, that was today. You asked me, I was like, I don't think he's reclassed. And I looked and it's 25, and I was like, oh, okay.
He's still in 2025, but he has the option to classify. Remain pretty adamant that he's in 25, but he always has that option. So
Yeah.
I would think.
By the way, I just want to say we clearly killed this podcast. As soon as I brought up WWE, I think everyone went.
Yeah, they all left.
It's all right. We're gonna.
It's all right. It's all right.
Put the YouTube and whatever platforms we're on.
I told you, Phoenix. I said I haven't been this excited for a Raw in months. Like, I'm so excited.
I have not watched a live WWE televised program that is not a pay-per-view in years. Probably since I was like 12.
I always watch it on record.
I don't watch it then. I watch the pay-per-views.
All right. Anybody have any final thoughts about the Hurricanes before we all hop off here and then the rest of TV's USA Network?
Oh.
Guard play will be key.
Yeah, guard play will be key. Ooh. It's
DJ Wagner and Justin Edwards are the most important factors of the game, and Justin Edwards especially is going to have to turn it on.
We've gotta help Trey out.
Yeah.
I asked for a scoring prediction, but I didn't do the MVP. So, all right, we're gonna run through it one more time. Nolan, who's your MVP?
We did totally forget MVP. I'm gonna take Rob. I think this just feels like a game where he does something crazy, and he's gonna be on SportsCenter.
All right, well, I will take DJ Wagner. I think he turns it on and has a big game. Goes for 25.
For himself, who do you think?
I'm going to give y'all a surprise pick. I'm going to give y'all Trey Mitchell.
It's a good pick.
Trey Mitchell, and then Jacob Polachek himself to go.
I mean, Cyril, I'm going to go with the Duthiero.
And that's wonderful because that means we all have different MVPs. I'm going Justin Edwards. I think it's his coming out party. But I think that just about wraps us up, guys.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been almost an hour. Yeah.
Chris, send us off.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening or watching. If y'all are listening on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we appreciate it. And this has been a great podcast. Obviously, it was on Twitter Space, but y'all should definitely join our Twitter Spaces in the future. But thank you all again. And this is Chris Beastmore signing out along with Nolan Fleming and whoever else is in this.
Go Big Blue. Let's do this more.
Yeah, let's do this more. Let's do this more often.
This was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It was.
I agree.
All right. Thank you all again.